What is going on, members of the Burger Empire? Brian here for Body by Burgers. And guess what is around the corner? Like, literally right around the corner. Tomorrow, Wodapalooza. That's right, the second CrossFit sanctioned event happening for people to qualify for the games. So I thought, hey, why not? Day before the actual event starts, let's throw up my predictions, or I guess the preview of what's going to happen at Wodapalooza. Also, side note, I got a new mic. As you can tell, not wearing the lapel mic anymore, so we're going to play around the settings. If you think it sounds better, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll just get right into it. So Wodapalooza happens from Thursday to Sunday this weekend, going from, what's tomorrow, the 17th? 16th to Sunday. Now, they have a whole bunch of different categories at Wodapalooza, but the main ones that we are going to be concerned about is going to be elite men, elite women, and teams. I couldn't find on their website how their actual leaderboard breaks down for teams, but I did write everything down for when it comes to the men that we should be watching and the women that we should be watching, and a couple of women that aren't going to be there that are typical mainstays at Wodapalooza, so you can kind of see how this CrossFit dynamic is changing the way athletes approach the way they're doing these workouts, the way they're going and attacking the season. So let's start off with the elite men. I've got about 9 people here that I think you can watch. Really only a handful that I think are going to make a huge impact. And like I said, there's only the top one that qualifies for the games. So going down the list, they've got everything sorted by alphabetical order because there is no points right now. Nobody has any points. So first, going down the order of notable names for the elite men, we've got Alex Anderson, Dakota Rager, John Colte, Lucas Ellisinger, Noah Olson, Patrick Vellner, Royce Dune, Sean Sweeney, Travis Mayer. Those are all notable previous game athletes, and yes, there is more previous games athletes that are going to Wodapalooza, but these are just the ones that I know have made an impact in the last 2-3 years. When it comes down to who's going to finish first, I'm putting my money on the fellow Canadian, my man, Patrick Vellner. Not only is he a fellow Canadian, but originally a fellow Albertan. If you don't know that, go watch it. That might be contrary to popular belief because the other mainstay that has been at Wodapalooza is Noah Olson, and he's won it a lot. I think it's like 3 or 4 years in a row he's won Wodapalooza. But I just think when it comes right down to it, this year when you're competing for the game spot and pressure's on, I hate to say it, because I do like Noah Olson. Just when it comes right down to it and the game's pressure's on, he has yet to podium, so I really think that this year is the year that he's going to be second. So first and foremost, I think that the second qualifying game spot is going to go to Pat Vellner. The first one is already Matt Fraser. We all know that. And then second place at this event is going to be Noah Olson. Third place, I'm pretty sure you can just take a grenade, throw it in there, and whoever lands in third is going to be third. But I'm going to just make my predictions of either going to be Alex Anderson or Lucas Ellisinger. They've all done some great things when it comes to the games previously. As you know, there was a speed clean ladder that Alex Anderson destroyed. I think it was back in 2016. Yeah. So that's my predictions. 1, 2, 3. 1, Pat Vellner. 2, Noah Olson. 3, either going to be Alex Anderson or Lucas Ellisinger. Elite women. This is a stacked field too. I'm coming up with just a bunch of people here that are former games athletes, people that haven't made it in the last couple years, but are still notable names. And then, of course, there's definitely the top women that have been to the games recently and made an impact. And one of them has actually already competed this year with a little bit of success. So going down the list, Canadian, Carol Ann Reason-Thibault. We've got E. Shurich. I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong. trying. Kari Pierce, Kristen Holta, Lindsay Valenzuela, who hasn't been to the game for a couple years, kind of took a step back and definitely went about the family life, and who can blame her? Sarah Sigmundsdottir, we all know, is my favorite. Maybe not to win this time, but Steph Chung, she was at the games last year, and then, of course, the champion, tia-clair Toomey, is going to be there. So, when it comes to the stacked women's field, I'm sorry, ladies, but it's tough to bet against the champ, and a champ that was dominant last year at the games. tia-clair Toomey, easily my number one pick, especially when you got a champion training with a champion, training with another champion who we'll get to, that is going to be at Wodapalooza. So we all know that back at the Dubai Fitness Championships, the CrossFit Fitness Championships, when Matt Fraser won, he said, hey, I've been training with Tia. I'm going to go back and help her train for Wodapalooza. I fully expect the elite women to be a complete blowout. Tia's just going to run with it. We all know she's a very well-rounded athlete. They've announced some of the workouts already, and the first one that I know of is one of them's a 5K beach run. So we might see a little bit of an advantage to Sarah Sigmundsdottir there, because they did have an 8K desert run at the Dubai Fitness Championships. So with that being said, Sarah Sigmundsdottir is my personal pick to finish second. And when it comes to third, it's going to be a tough pick, but I honestly think it's going to be Kari Pierce. I think she finished 6th last year at the games, and she is the fittest North American woman, so tough to bet against that. The only other one that I think is going to be in that third area, probably Carol Ann Reason-Thibault or Kristen Holta. But then again, who knows what's going to happen? Competition is different for everyone, and I think that we've already had like the top three that I picked: tia-clair Toomey, Sarah Sigmundsdottir, and Kari Pierce. They've already been at the games. They've already felt the pressure, and well, the time is now. What's kind of cool about Wodapalooza is they actually have elite teams where it's just 3 same-sex partners, so 3 males, 3 females. And that's kind of cool. And one notable team in those elite males is Team Foodspring. What Team Foodspring is doing, though, is like it's taking a lot of high-end individual athletes to compete at that elite portion and taking them out of the individual competition. And Team Foodspring for the males consists of Adrian Munweiler, who I believe won the crit event in the 2018 games, BKG, Bjorn Karl Gubensson, who is always a top 6, top 5 guy, and Jan Kosku, who always does very well at the games as well. So it's kind of interesting not to see those 3 people choose to go individual or even part of a mixed team to try and qualify for the games. But those are just some notable names that are removed from competition. When it comes to the women's side, 2 names that I know of that aren't competing this year at the women's side. We've got Katrin Davidsdottir and Brooke Wells, who for the last few years has been mainstays again at Wodapalooza and not competing. When it comes to our teams, so, my God, do you want to see a stacked roster when it comes to teams? I'm almost more excited to follow along with the team end of things than I am the individuals, because, well, let's face it, the champ, the people's champ, the champion of champions, Rich Froning, and his team of Team Mayhem Freedom are all going to be there. But this isn't the same team. Wow. This is not the same Team Mayhem that we've seen at the games. They had a couple people retire from CrossFit and move on with their lives. And we all know CrossFit's as a sport is not permanent. We know that. And so they had a couple people move on, and the new team members for Mayhem Freedom, we've got Dre Strom and Kristen Miller. We've also got Tasia Percival and Rich Froning, which of course are the mainstays, the repeat athletes from last year. We've got Team Plus Ultra, which whole slew of individuals. And what's interesting about the events at Wodapalooza is they're not so much team events, but they are like taking the elite males and females and like kind of throwing them in individual stuff and combining their scores. Very similar to what the Dubai Fitness Championships did, and where things were just different. And if you took, or if you watched Rich Froning's podcast, Froning and Friends, he basically says it himself. He's like, well, they made me a way, or they found a way to make me an individual again. And it's kind of unfortunate because you kind of see Mayhem work together all the time. But Team Plus Ultra, if it is that kind of style where it's a lot of individuals doing individual events, Team Plus Ultra is going to be a threat. And it's not on the male side, I don't think, because Rich, if that is going to be the case, will be just a workhorse. He's just going to be the guy that takes everything and runs with it. Team Plus Ultra, though, consists of quite a few established and known games athletes. First off, on the men's side, we got Travis Williams and Nick Urankar, which Travis Williams never had a ton of individual success. I don't know if he's ever finished top 10. I don't think he has, but Nick Urankar definitely has. And Nick Urankar has definitely won events at the CrossFit Games. And then on the women, you got Thuri Helgadottir, which, if you've followed the road to the games that they've had a couple years ago, she failed to qualify last year, but has qualified for the games before. And then you've got the 2014 Women's Championship, or champion, a fellow Canadian, French Canadian, Camille LeBlanc-Blasonnet. So, like, if you look at the women's part, you kind of think that, okay, Tasia is going to be on the same level as Camille, but that's kind of going to be a crapshoot. So it kind of throws, again, a grenade into everything that's been going on. Not to mention, there are some notable athletes on some other teams. Like the team competition here at Wodapalooza is just stacked. And, like, of course, my favorite to win is going to be Mayhem Freedom, but you just don't know. Like, you look at Team 4 Local, their heavy hitter. We got Elijah Muhammad, who can throw heavy weight around. You've got Team Forged by Zeus, which just two games athletes again going on that team. You got Tim Paulson and Con Porter. I don't know if the women they're at least regional level athletes with Megan Radu and Kristen Best. And then you got Team Lesser Evil, which is better known as Team Invictus, that was at the Dubai CrossFit Championships with Lauren Vischer, Tommy Venus, Rasmus Anderson, and Reagan Huckabee. Team Ramwad is just another stacked team. Like, we've got Jessica Griffith, Jamie Green, Cody Mooney, Alex Smith, all very well-known games athletes on the individual end. Invictus X is going to be there with the dancers. Like, and Team Misfit has China Chow on it. So, as far as I'm concerned, you can kind of take, again, the teams and just pick a name out of a bucket, and that's potentially who's going to win. But if I'm going to have to pick, I'm saying number one, Mayhem Freedom, because you can't ever bet against Rich Froning, because if you bet against Rich Froning, he's going to prove you wrong, and if you bet for him, he's going to prove you right. Team Plus Ultra is my number 2 pick, and my number 3 pick coming out of that, Team Lesser Evil. So that is my preview for Wodapalooza. It's going to be an interesting one, and I'm excited to follow along with this one. Like I said, so the men, I'm picking Pat Vellner for first. Number 2 is Noah Olson. Number 3, I'm going with either Alex Anderson or Lucas Ellisinger. And Elite Women, number 1, definitely Tia-Clair Toomey. No question in my mind is she going to win it. Number 2, Sarah Sigmundsdottir. Number 3, Kari Pierce. And then 4 teams, Mayhem Freedom, number 1, number 2 is Plus Ultra, and number 3 we're going with Team Lesser Evil, or better known as Invictus X, from the champions at the Dubai CrossFit Fitness Championships. That is the video today, guys. I will have the follow-up video coming out as to who wins, and some highlights and whatever else, much like I did for the Dubai Championship. Yeah, so thank you for watching. If you like the video, make sure to like the video. Comment in the comment section below who you guys think is going to take it. Maybe I'm missing someone. Maybe there's somebody that's going to do really well that I'm not counting on. So yeah, if you want to put that in the comment section below, put that in the comment section below. Subscribe. It's the only way to become a member of the Burger Empire. And don't forget to turn on the bell notifications. And until next time, everybody, Burger Power.